Greetings, folks. I'm Too Improper.
And I'm Tattoo Cat. And today, we're going to talk about these beautiful Glocks.
Well, folks, because of everybody else, we knew this day was coming. Glock 19 Generation 5. They also did it in 17. And we're just going to have a loose conversation about the comparison on these two guns. So what do you think, Tat?
Honestly, the only thing I can really see is cosmetic. I know there's some internal changes, but in reality, I mean, to me, you couldn't go wrong with either one of these pieces. I do like the upgraded sights on the Gen 5. Very nice. They've beveled it a little bit on the front of the slide. But I'm sure they both function pretty much identical.
A lot of the changes were cosmetic, and although I will say that the finish on the Gen 5 I do like a little better. And they say that it's even tougher than the regular Tenifer finish in the other one that's on this one. So looks a little bit better. I too like the sights. These ship with these, although they do also offer them with the regular Glock factory night sights, and that's on probably about half of them anyway. And you guys know that I do not like finger grooves on the pistols. Very few where I actually like finger grooves because it seems to point my fingers in directions that they don't want to go. Also, we've got us a flared magwell on the Gen 5. That's a flared magwell and a cutout here for stripping your magazine out. All right, for when you have to do some emergency clears. All right. Some people were having problems with this if their hands were really big with this space right here. And I don't personally think it would affect me because my hands really aren't that huge and beefy. I don't know, do you feel anything, or I don't know, what do you think about it?
I like the grips on both the guns. I can see where some people don't like the finger grooves. They don't really bother me any. Both guns fit my hand well. The one thing that is slightly a little better on the Gen 5 is the trigger. It's just a hair bit better. But again, I don't think it's enough of a difference. Dislike or like one or the other better. I mean, they're both fine pieces, so
let's compare them. Let's see. Let's do the trigger on this. We'll take the mags out. Folks, you've been able to surmise by now that they aren't loaded guns. We never do loaded guns. So, Glock 19 Gen 4, which, by the way, folks, I love. Good crisp. I think that's a lot more than 5 pounds, though. Glock says it's a 5-pound trigger pull. That's more than 5 pounds. Loud audible reset, and there you go. So that's that trigger. And Gen 5, same take up. Yeah, yep. It is. It's lighter. Okay, there's not as much force necessary. Reset. Slightly closer. Now, would it be enough for me to run my Glock 19 out and go ahead and get a Gen 5? For me personally, no. I like my Glock 19 Gen 4. If I did anything with that, funnily enough, I would be running off the finger grooves. But aside from that, be up close. Get ready, girls. Ooh. Isn't that nice? Lovely. Another thing they did, of course, was the beveled front end right here. That's just like the Glock 26. And one of the problems with this, too, is that they did not make the frame to match this beveling. So you've got a shelf right here. A nice polymer shelf. There's no smooth transition. Can you see me? So they didn't do the frame to match this beveling. That was a little bit of a finishing touch that they should have actually done, and they didn't. Another thing here was that the trigger plunger here is beveled here, so it actually makes for a smoother trigger pull. So, and a lot of people, from what I heard, did not like this cutout here. because it leaves this open space here. What do you fill it with? Nothing, unless the magazine came with something to fill in that space. But why would you do that? Because the purpose of this is supposed to be able to strip the magazine. So, and it's got an orange follower, so you can see it, a high-vis follower. So, ambidextrous though on both sides. You see this? The Gen 4, not on the right side of the pistol, but the Gen 5 has a slide catch on both sides. There's something for you lefties. That's something that Tattoo Cat would probably like about this. And that's it. Reversible magazine release. And yeah. So the Gen 5, it's good. It is not, in my opinion, earth-shattering.
I agree with you. Again, I mean, there's when it comes to the Glock, I mean, mechanically speaking, really there's not a whole lot to improve on. It's a proven weapon. I'd carry either one. I like them both.
Yeah. Now, I'd rather have the High Point C9.
Well, you know, if we're going to talk about high quality, you know, I have to agree with you there on the High Point. I mean, high quality, High Point, it's in their name.
That's right. You know, when you start talking about pistols like that and the Jimenez, you really are getting up there. So, but anyway, this is it. This is the Glock 19 Gen 5. They also make it in the Glock 17 Gen 5. I assume they're going to do the Glock 26 Gen 5 and all of that, but so far so good with this pistol. It's very nice. Of course, it comes with the interchangeable back straps.
One thing I do really like on the Gen 5 is the sight blocks. They could help you out of a sticky situation if you were only left with only one hand to fight with. I think the rear sight block is has more function than on the Gen 4.
So that's about it. I think that this is just about as good as the Glock 19 Gen 4. There are some refinements, like the trigger is just a little bit better. Both Tat and I thought it was. And it's a smoother trigger in the Glock 19. It's not the ribbed trigger. And the trigger is just a little bit lighter. The reset's a little bit more refined. But is this an earth-shattering development for Glock? I don't think so. So this is it, folks. This is the Glock 19 Gen 5. Just a short discussion about it. It is, again, an attractive pistol with its new finish and everything like that, but not much new here. So, well, that's it, folks. This is the Glock 19 Gen 5.
We're located at Not Just Guns in Mason, Michigan. Check them out online, notjustguns.com. Check out their weekly auctions every Wednesday. Do some bidding, have some fun. Check it out, notjustguns.com.
And also, too, if you want some of the Too Improper shirts that you saw me and Tat wearing in the beginning of this video, and we both look lovely in them, you can look lovely, too, if you go to Abaddon Apparel. Also, Abaddon Apparel has their own line of apparel. Very good shirts, and they're coming out with new designs all the time. So that's it, Abaddon Apparel, if you want your Too Improper gear. Hats, mugs, hoodies, shirts, etc., etc. Too Improper gear at Abaddon Apparel. Well, that's it, folks. I'm Too Improper. My email address is scrolling across the bottom of the screen as we speak right now. That's tooimproper@gmail.com.
And if you'd like to reach me, Tattoo Cat, it's TAT, the number 2, KAT, @gmail.com.
Thanks for watching, folks. God bless America, and keep on protecting your families and yourselves. It's your duty as the person who loves your family, and it is always the right thing to do. Straighten everything up. My zipper not down? Well, they can't see anyway.